So I wanted to make a quick video talking about Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color games for the collectors out there when it comes to fakes. So I came across a Resident Evil game called Resident Evil Gaiden, and it's a Game Boy Color game. And I hadn't really heard it before, and I saw it yesterday. I asked the guy behind the counter, and he showed it to me. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And then I went home and I did some more research, and I figured out I really wanted to play this game, and it was at a good steal of a price of only $100. It was one of those GameStop games, GameStop retro games that you can sometimes get a good price on. So I went back the next day and I picked it up, and at first I was like, man, this thing looks legit, like it looks real. And I didn't ask the guy behind the counter if I could see it first. And I'm just going to make sure I do that next time. And sometimes they can be a little weird, but I'll just be like, here's my cell phone. I'm not going to run off with that game. That just always irks me. But you really got to look real close, though. So this one, you can see that it looks like there's a label on top of the label. That was the first thing I thought was a little strange. But I was like, maybe they just put a different, new label on it because the old one was messed up. That's very possible. Some game stores will do that. And I also saw that the battery had that yellow ring around it. And if I was trying to read the inscription, I can't remember if it said Hitachi or something, but it was a battery that I don't believe to be original. And so that means it was definitely opened up before. So those were a couple things that you could already tell that it's been tampered with. And then the thing that really gave it away, and I'm telling you, this label looked really good, but it didn't have the imprinted numbers, and that's always pretty much a telltale sign. Like if I would have saw that if I had asked to look at it, I probably wouldn't have bought it. I probably would have known right there. But again, this was like a game that wasn't. It seems to be pretty rare, and it wasn't sold a whole lot. So that's why I was like, eh. And I'm going to show you some images on screen and show you just how good it looked. And there's one other thing. The text was a bit wrongly spaced when it came to the sides of the label. That was the other thing I could tell on the front. And then on the back, if you look up here, it says 02. Or the 02. That's how it should say. This one said 01. And so that was my next thing. I was like, oh, this may not have the actual game on it. This could be a swapped motherboard. And unfortunately, I only had my DS with me, and the DS doesn't play Game Boy Color games, so I wasn't able to try it out. But if I had to guess, the game could have been on it, but most likely it wasn't, because it wasn't an official cartridge, and usually you can't just put any game you want on any cartridge, because they're made specifically for that game. So yeah, those were a couple things. I mean, it looked so good was the thing. And, because they used an actual motherboard inside too, because these cartridges are clear and transparent, sort of like this one, but you can see a bit more of the internals rather than just a little bit like this one. So being able to switch a motherboard and just put a really nice, good looking label on it, it's a bit iffy. So I just wanted to share this and say, double check what you're buying, ask to see it. Look, and then if you're still not sure, maybe it doesn't have the print, you're like, okay, were they all made with that imprinted number? Because honestly, I'm not sure if all Game Boy and Game Boy Color games and Advance are made with that printed number. I believe they are, but I'm not 100% for sure on that, because sometimes some of the original cartridges probably differed a lot from the later cartridges in the run of a system. And you'll see that with a lot of game cases, PlayStation 3 is a good example. That one had a pretty drastic change. So just double check your games. Let me know if you found any good fakes out there. I tried to put some good images of what I found here and compare them to eBay. Unfortunately, I didn't take the best pictures. I wish I had taken a video. I'll try to remember to do that next time if I do come across a pretty good fake out there. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you found anything similar out in the wild, and if you have, and if you see it again, try to document it and just take some pictures and put it out online so that others can be aware, because we don't want to go buying a $200 game like this and turns out, oh, it's fake, and then it's essentially worthless. So thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts.